Okay, so week one is done. Check. Good job. I'm paying attention very closely to both the newbies and the old gals, originals. Loved the conversation on our Facebook page about that. You girls are pretty funny. I just want to remind you that this 3 strength workouts, the ones that are starred, are the ones that are going to be the game changers. Those are the ones that I'm sitting down each week and progressing each week. And making sure that you're being pushed through certain thresholds with a little creativity, so you're not bored. But I also want you to make sure that you're actually getting stronger and you're putting muscle on your body, right? So please pay attention to those 3 strength workouts, the ones that I've started. You don't have to do them on the exact days I have calendarized. As soon as I finish this nugget, I'm going to get to work and film some new stuff for your workout tomorrow, so stay tuned for that as well. But I just want to make sure that you understand what the progression of the program looks like. So I am under the assumption that you are all, and I know this is not the truth, but this is how my mind will go when I'm when I'm programming for you all. I assume that you are all being consistent with the 3 strength workouts, hopefully plus the mobility, because without proper mobility, you're not going to be able to move properly to get the most out of your movements for strength. So the mobility has to be part of it. Don't forget that. But again, 3 strength workouts, very happy, because strength workouts through proper range of motion, full range of motion, also will improve your mobility. I'm not saying that that's not going to help you, but again, these well thought out real-time HIIT workouts are going to get you there quicker. So just as a side note, I know I ask a lot of you, but I really feel like at this stage of our lives, we need to really start making sure that we are a priority in our life for our future. And it is go time now. I laugh because I see some people on social media making fun of us influencers. I hate that word, by the way. But I guess I shouldn't, because I do influence people to be healthier. But for some reason, I just really despise that word. But I hear a lot of people making fun of us, saying like, you've got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to do this, blah, 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 blah. Got it. Okay, yeah. And yeah, it's funny. But yeah, you do have to actually do the things. And the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because it's like a sort of a start of a fresh new session, follows sort of like a January for all of us. So I do want us to make sure we're being mindful of other habits that need to be improved upon to get the results that you're looking for. And so so first I'll keep my train of thought with the progression. So I progress in the mindset that you're all doing the workouts, the strength workouts each week. I have some ladies who literally, there's a direct correlation, funny how this happens, between how long someone has been doing the workouts and compliance. So it's kind of funny how that happens, right? But the ones who are doing the workouts stay with me because they work and they get results. So I have to make sure that I'm programming for the people who are constantly doing the work. Now, if you have got issues in terms of injuries or setbacks due to life, this happens. And so just be mindful of the fact that you're going to have to dial it back a little bit, because I am pushing the strongest client, right? So some of the exercises will be very advanced. I'm going to always provide modifications because I do know we're at different levels. Some OGs are going to not be as strong as some of the newbies, and vice versa. So you're going to really have to pay attention to how you're feeling and how your body is responding. But if something is too hard, remember that you only will get better if you continue to push yourself. People will when I used to train women face to face, they used to get so incredibly frustrated with themselves, with their lack of strength or their lack of ability to move. But I would say to them, and this is why face-to-face training can really help, is like, well, you have to start somewhere. And if you were perfect at everything that I threw at you, this would be more of an issue. This is why we're doing this stuff, is so consistent work, you're going to actually excel. And that's why I love when I see notes being written down, like this was hard. I wasn't very good at this, because when you refer back, if you're consistent, you will laugh at those notes that you took. Depends on how consistent you are, but sometimes within weeks, within months, sometimes it does take years. It really will depend on your compliance. But when you go back to your old notes, you'll be so shocked at where you started. And so when I trained and coached people face to face, I would remind them, yeah, but remember you couldn't sit on the ball with one foot last month, and now you're doing it with both feet up on your knees on the ball. And they forget, they get on the ball and they're like shaking, they get frustrated. I'm like, yeah, but don't you remember last month that you couldn't even sit with one foot up, right? So you have to remind yourself of where you started and where you're getting to on a consistent basis. This is why sometimes this type of coaching is tricky. And so I'm really trying to connect with these nuggets each week to remind you of the importance of the note-taking, being mindful of the progression. We all have interruptions in our workout routines. This is life. Just remember that I am always going to be pushing the person who in my mind is doing the 3 workouts. I know I offer more than 3, but those 3 ones, like I said, game changers. And the ones that have been doing the longest. So you dial it back by doing less reps, less sets, and decreasing the load. That is how, and slowing it down. The slower you do things, the better anyways. But those are how you dial it back. If you are too sore, if you are killing yourself and you can't walk or can't raise your hand due to stiffness, you need to dial it back. You shouldn't be feeling that stiff. Within 24 to 48 hours, I do want you to feel like you have done something, absolutely, but you may have to kind of test your body. Oh yeah, yep, I definitely did something. That's sort of where I want you. I don't want you to be like, not being able to get off the toilet kind of thing and cursing me for 4 days, right? So I want you to just be mindful of how your body is responding. And that is how, if it's too stiff, then you go back and you dial it back. So when I say newbies are doing 2 sets of 10, we joked about this on the Facebook page, and the OGs are only doing 2 sets of 6 to 8 reps. What I'm wanting those OGs to do, just to clarify, is pick up mother effing biggest weights you have, right? And the 6 to 8 is hard. The newbies are grabbing, middle-sized weights and doing 2 sets of 10 comfortably, right? And then what I'm going to do into the second phase of this session is I will start removing the newbies and making them, or forcing them, not making such a terrible word, encouraging them to also then grab the heavier dumbbells, and then 6 is hard. Right now, I want your 6-8 rep range newbies to be hard, but I want maybe you to be able to do maybe 1 more, maybe 2, but you don't. Okay, so if you have questions about this, ladies, please ask me on the Facebook page. Okay, because this is where I need to communicate with you. It's much easier if I just answer all the questions on the one page. And then your question is going to be the same for 30 others of you. So then that really helps get all the questions out. And I want the newbies to just sort of the 10 reps. And why I'm doing this is to improve your strength, okay? So we are in a strength phase. And I'm going to, give you some ebbs and flows as the week progresses or as the days progress. Don't worry about any of this. This is my job. You just need to follow the instructions and do the best you can. But I want you to think I'm going to get strong for the next few months. And so if you don't have appropriate weights in your hand, you're then going to have to, and because not all of us have access to a wide selection of dumbbells or a squat rack or access to a gym. Although I do see and hear a lot of us now going back into the gym setting, which is great. Let me know on the Facebook page, because then I can incorporate even more options of equipment you could use. But for so many years, we've been now inside kind of doing what we can do, because we've built these gyms due to specific circumstances that led us to not getting into gyms for a few years. And so I want to make sure that I'm offering both for everyone. But if you're, just building your gym and you don't yet have a weight that's going to challenge you at 6 reps, then you just need to slow it down. Okay, so I always give the squat as an example. So, it's a lot different if I can put my 45-pound barbell on my back, put another 45 on, and then squat, 135, 5 to 6 times. By the way, I'm not doing that right now because I've still got my old lady injury here. But I'm going to get back to that. I just know I will. And I would be doing 5 to 6 reps. That would be hard, right? And then I might be able to do a 7 and 8, but I rack it up because my form probably wouldn't have been well. I'm going to take a rest and then I'm going to repeat that. But what if you don't have access to that, right? What if your biggest weight are 20s and then that's going to also make it harder, because you're having to engage your upper body a lot more than the squat rack to do those squats. Carry on the live is, using water jugs, right? So we have to make sure that in the circumstances that we're in, we're pushing our bodies and getting stronger each week. So you're going to have to go down, maybe come up a little bit, then back down, hold, and then pop up fast if your knees and your hips can handle that kind of movement. Or you're maybe going to do 5 pulses before you come back up, right? Slowing it down even more. So when you get to rep 6, even if you have big water jugs in your hand, that's going to really suck and that's going to be hard. So you're going to have to be creative. Some of you, if you don't have the luxury of a rack, totally fine. You can do it. I don't want this to stress you out and make you feel like you're not going to be able to push and get strong, but please be mindful. I'll give you another example of even something simple like a bicep curl, right? Like I can put my 45-pound barbell in my hand and, do some even do a cheat, come down. I program that one a lot. And small muscles like biceps, we're not doing 6. We're going to up the rep range a little bit. But after 8 to 10 of those, probably 8, I would definitely reach a certain threshold where I know I'm going to be doing some stuff to that bicep. What if you only have 15-pound dumbbells, right? And I've said I want you to do 8 of them hard. Well, what are you going to do? First of all, you're going to make sure your form is impeccable. Form makes things way harder. And I just want you to keep things slow and controlled. Oh my God, we're already at 12 minutes. I feel like I could talk forever about this stuff. I'm going to end it now. I wanted to get into nutrition and some habits, but I really want us to make sure that our mind is like, how am I going to get as strong as I possibly can in the next 8 to 12 weeks. And this is the way we're going to do it. But please, if you're unsure and you just don't know if you have the right equipment to get you there, and you need some tips and suggestions, I am here. So is our community, to make sure that you feel supported and that you have the right steps to get the job done. So I'll be on here again next week in the Nugget to talk about habits, etc. I'll just put in your head that we have opened a dialogue and discussion on the Facebook page. Both Carrie and Sabine have talked about nutrition and protein and options and meals. And so I want us to kind of carry on these conversations on our Facebook page to feel like we're getting the most out of the support and all of the women that are doing this program together. So please don't be shy. Some of you are like, I don't want a community, I don't need a community. That's fine, I guess. But I think it's really awesome that we've found a group of like-minded women who are doing the workouts, the exact same workouts every single week. How cool is it that we have now a platform that we can also be there for one another. Just saying that. And I couldn't get a stronger circle together. Mandy joined, but then she lives in the UAE, and that time difference doesn't work. I had Meg, who still wants to join in again, but Nani can't. So anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. I do really want to get a stronger circle together. I have some women on the sideline waiting and wanting to join, but I really want a really good network of 6 women, 6 like-minded women. And yes, it is a little bit more of an extra cost. And yes, it does require you to be available consistently for a 1 Zoom chat. I picked Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST. Just have to do that, right? Can't just have to pick a day. Anyways, I'll stop. Now we're at 15:42. Sorry, I do really try to make these short and sweet. I will see you next week for a little bit more talk about nutrition. And I'm going to get to work and fill some new exercises for you for tomorrow's workout. Keep kicking ass, keep writing those notes down, and stay tuned for the summer's session winner for compliance. I do still need to take a look at who kept their compliance up. Don't worry, I'm not going to award it to Kelly or Jana this time because they would like me to pass it on to someone else. So I'm going to go and take a look at that now and award someone on our Facebook page that free month. And I hope that you're all having a great Sunday, and we'll see you soon.